Hello, trading is closed on September 30th, 2024. We'll do our disclaimer, go over our calls, make our predictions. It's my trading plan for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Remember, I can be completely wrong. Any trade you make should be made at your own risk. Looking for us to gap down sharply this morning and undercut this last low, and we did. And that's enough to satisfy the prediction. This is a pattern with the early low. Tomorrow should have the early high. This is just what we said. Continue to drop Monday morning. It's an early high tomorrow, but the pattern isn't always as clear as we'd like it to be. This was one of these days when the MEJT calls kind of hung by a hair. We missed the signal in the morning by one tick in the futures market. Had we traded one tick higher over here, the target would have been to continue dropping, undercut this low, and then retrace, and that would have worked. And we would have said that after rallying here, we'd undercut again. So if we had traded one tick higher, you would have had some pretty good calls. But if it didn't trigger, it didn't trigger. So that's too bad. And the same thing happened in the afternoon. It did say we trade higher and trade lower, and those trades weren't going to stick. That's those Fs. But it came within a fraction of giving an ultimate buy signal. When I did the system over 22 years ago, I had to eyeball what was an ultimate buy signal. I used to have a computer program I no longer have, and I had to set a precise number for where the signal triggered, and this triggered right at that arbitrary point. And when I give statistics on the system, it's all based on the computer program rules, not based on me eyeballing it. So since you hit it on the nose, I can't say if it was an ultimate buy signal or not. If it were, you'd say that was enough to satisfy it, but we almost always get more. So we trade a penny or two higher, we had a good call again, but I have to call it kind of arbitrary. Anyway, those things have all played out. Well, what's this business going on here? Either the rally's continuing or this is end of quarter window dressing. If it's end of quarter window dressing with this wall into the close, we're going to gap down tomorrow and undercut this low fast. But I can't be certain that's what it is. If it isn't end of quarter window dressing, I don't have anything to stop us from going higher, even though sentiment indicators are telling us a top isn't too far away. And that's something I'm just going to have to wait till tomorrow morning's trade to know one way or the other. Well, Tuesday's pattern has the early high. Typically it's a rally day, high in the final hour, failure is a straight line drop. The wall into the close often is followed by gapping down the next day, but when we're this close to an all-time high, it only happens half the time. 50-50 isn't good enough for me to risk any money. Sentiment indicators remain on a sell signal, but the timing of these indicators is not precise. They say it'll come soon. It doesn't mean it has to come tomorrow. I don't have a clear signal for tomorrow's trade. If we rally for 2 more days, we would trigger daily DeMark combo and sequential sell signals in alignment if we ignore the recycle, and we'd be at Norm Winsky's latest change in trend time rallying 2 more days would be great if you're going to try to pick a top. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Rallying 2 more days would make a pretty picture. I just can't say it's required. I plan to wait to see the early trade before acting tomorrow, and if the rally continues, there should be a pretty good entry point for short soon enough. Could come at as early as Thursday's open. But if the late rally was due to end of quarter positioning, it should reverse quickly, ideally by gapping down, undercutting the last low. So I can explain a move in either direction. I think we're close to a top in terms of time. If we open down here, that could have been it. But again, until we undercut some prior lows, any short position here is a counter trend trade. And I'm not a big fan of risking a lot of money on counter trend trades. If you can nail it, fine, but you have to have a close stop on any of these things. If we do continue higher, the time frame is after the close on Wednesday. Norm's stuff says you act at Thursday's open. So we have things we're looking for. 2 more days of rally or undercutting this. Neither one's required to happen. And I plan to wait until I see what's going on before risking any of my own money. And that's today's call.